Whirlpool Masters. One is the 2009 champion, the other the title holder. One contender enjoys home advantage. The other is trying to become the first man to win back-to-back Masters titles. It's England's Darren Appleton against the American Shane Van Boening for the Party Poker Whirlpool Masters title. The route to the final for Van Boening involved an opening round victory over the Canadian John Morrow. In the quarterfinals, he brushed aside Walid Majid. Then in the semi-finals, he gave a near-perfect performance, reeling off 8 straight racks, whitewashing Lehigh Town.
It's an honor to be in the final of the Whirlpool Masters, second year in a row. I won the US Open 4 times and won it 3 years in a row. I'm really happy just to be in the finals, whether I win or lose. Against Darren, he's one of the best pool players in the world. He's probably the toughest opponent, and he's very fearless, and he doesn't make any mistakes very often. So it all depends on the break.
Appleton launched his campaign against Matthias Snigotsky. In the quarterfinals, he got the better of Moscone Cup foe Johnny Archer. And finally, in the semi-finals, he took on and beat fellow Englishman Mark Gray. So what about regaining the crown 6 years on?
Yeah, in front of my own fans, it'd mean a lot more. Vegas was great, but to win it in front of your own fans in your own country would be a dream. So really, really excited now for the final. Oh, I've just got to play great. I've played him so many times. I've slightly got a better record against him, the head-to-head. I've beat him more times than he's beat me, and I've beat him in the Whirlpool Masters before, so I know what I've got to do to beat him. Just got to have a really good mindset and just hope I break good, just making sure that I do the basics good and stay really focused at all times.
So let's get it on. Van Boening against Appleton in the final of the 2015 Party Poker Whirlpool Masters. Watch out! Of the Party Poker Whirlpool Masters of 2015, one question remains. Will the pride of Pontefract overcome the South Dakota kid, or vice versa? No one could disagree with this statement. The final will be contested by the best 2 players in the tournament.
Shane Van Boening wins the rack.
And the rack is won by Shane Van Boening, and that could be crucial.
That is crucial because Shane Van Boening ran 7 racks in his semi-final domination of Lehigh Town, in which he won 8-0. Yeah, you heard that right. Shane Van Boening, 7 break-in runouts in the semi-final. Darren Appleton standing up and having a look at just what it is that Shane Van Boening has been doing. Well, he's not going to have a break and run out here. He's got 2 balls down, Shane does, but no clear shot on the 2. Not only do we have the 2 best players clearly in this tournament so far, this prospect of this match, I know that pool fans around the world are just licking their chops. This is as good a matchup as you're going to see. So without a shot on the 2, Shane calls a push-out.
Well, he's pushed into a snooker, and Darren Appleton doesn't take a great amount of time to put him back in.
No player in the 22-year history of the Whirlpool Masters has repeated as champion. Hard to imagine that, but it is true. That's how difficult this event is. 16 elite players from all corners of the globe come together and do battle in a amazingly tough format.
Oh dear me, in terms of Darren Appleton, the gap is there. The 2 ball is on. An error. Shane Van Boening is only the 3rd defending champion to reach the final when he's trying to retain the title. Dutchman Alex Lely did so in the year 2000. More recently, Dennis Acolo did in 2011. Can he go one step further?
Shane, the 4-time U.S. Open champion, has won 3 in a row now in that prestigious event. Like this event, winner breaks played on these same diamond tables. This is the kind of format that Shane Van Boening loves. He loves the winner break format. You could see that in his semifinal match. He gets in a rhythm when he is on fire. He is hard to beat.
Well, for a split second on the previous shot, he was a little concerned he might have overcooked it for position and gone in behind the 8 ball, but he was able to pot the 6 just about.
So this all came about because of a poor answer by Darren Appleton on the safety. And that left the 2 ball open, and this is the result. Shane Van Boening on the board first, picking up where he left off in that brilliant semifinal. 1-0 in favor of the American.
Van Boening won the lag, but he didn't break and run on this occasion. In the end, he won a safety duel and ran out. First blood, subsequently drawn.
He didn't have quite the same success, Shane, and in the opening break shot as he did in that semifinal, but let's see if he can get it back here.
In rack 2, Shane Van Boening to break, leading 1 rack to 0.
He said after that 8-0 win over Lu Hai Tao, I found something on the break. He discovered something.
Remember the old song, what a difference a day makes, what a difference a match makes. His break, so effective in the semi-finals, there comes up dry. Hence the shouts of, come on Darren. because Van Boning's dry, Appleton's in.
Can he see a full one ball there?
The pot is on, position onto the 2, which is in close proximity to the 9. That's the big issue.
It's a great pot. Needs position. He wants it to go. Not enough.
Is it sliver of the 2 just poking its nose out?
A little bit, but he wanted it another 8-9 inches.
Extension called.
Just to repeat, 30-second shot clock in operation throughout the tournament, first round to final, and each player allowed a 30-second shot extension, 1 per rack.
It was a very good effort. That was a difficult blind cut shot into the side pocket. And it appears he's ended up safe. So Shane Van Boening will pull out the jump cue.
Extension called.
Van Boening using his extension. In time, that is. Of course, in snooker we have the extension on the end of the cue, which is used quite often. So we do have to make the distinction there. Van Boening not lengthening the cue, shortening it.
Wow. Incredible shot. Look at it again. A jump, bank, pot, and position.
You know the old phraseology in physics, Ted, when an immovable object meets an irresistible force, something's got to give. But what gives?
Well, I think what that shows is that Shane Van Boening is still very much in the zone after that extraordinary performance in his semifinal match against Lu Haitao, in a match that took all of 27 minutes and 40 seconds, a Whirlpool Masters record. Shane Van Boening showing incredible confidence. And not just jumping that ball, but potting it and getting position. And he's cueing extremely well here. And with this 9, he'll take a 2-0 lead over Darren Appleton.
A very good rack for Shane Van Boening. 8 without reply in the semi-finals. He starts off the final by winning the first 2 as well. On fire. Welcome back to the final of the Whirlpool Masters. It's Van Boening against Appleton. I can tell you the American has taken the opening 2 racks. He's made a flying start as we pick up the action at the start of the third.
And some excellent potting there from Shane Van Boening to clear the table after that jump pot. So he'll be breaking once again. He made 2 balls on the break in the first rack, dry break in the second rack. He still finds himself up 2-0. What happens if he discovers that same break he had in the semifinals when
to break, leading 2 racks to 0.
He was making a ball in the break and getting a wide open shot on the 1. That would spell trouble for Darren Appleton. The 1 in the side. And the 2 appears to be mostly covered.
Yes, and the culprit there was the pink 4 ball. Sort of trapped the cue ball a couple of times. First and then again there.
Well, he can see this too. So he tries a safety. Darren quickly up out of his chair. He needs to make something happen soon, as in now. It's a good start.
Just thinking, Ted, you know, Van Boening completed his quarterfinal win over Walid Majid. Won 8-5 after being 6-5 up, so he won the closing 2 racks there. Then 8 without reply against Lou in the semi-finals. Now the first 2 here, so he's won 12 racks in succession. Is it going to be unlucky 13?
Certainly appears that way. Excellent response from Darren Appleton. We wouldn't expect anything less from him. This is a man in 9 years in the pro pool circuit has won just about, I was going to say he's won just about everything there is, but that is not the way to win the Whirlpool Masters. With 3 balls on the table, he misses the 6th ball. That is Migraine City right there.
What an unexpected turn of events. That's costly against anyone in a field of this standard. Against Shane Van Boening, heartbreaking. Doesn't like the position on the 9, but really hard to imagine this one isn't
Darren
going to find gravity.
He cannot bear to watch, Phil.
We thought it was going to be 2-1. It isn't. It's 3-0. And remarkably, Shane Van Boening, over the course of the quarterfinals, the semi-final, and now the final, has won 13 consecutive racks.
And that was a great shot right there, and Darren looked like he was on the way back, but that missed 6th ball gave the table back over to Shane. And Darren is just gutted.
Taking on water. The expression tells its own tale.
Well, he's taking on water. He's treading water, barely. Down 3-0. 2 mistakes in the first 3 racks. And Shane seems to be able to do no wrong. Now, A dry break, so Shane doesn't quite have the break shot down that he did against Lou. There's Papa Appleton, Darren's dad, obviously concerned. How about this, Phil? Shot on the one, but look at the cueing. And then what about the blue two? He's got to have perfect, no, he's got to pot this. He's got to have perfect position to get down for the two along the rail. I'm not really worried about Darren, however. I've been seeing him play in the biggest tournaments under the biggest pressure in finals, and he's been under serious duress many times, and he knows how to get out of it.
And he can wash away negativity from the thought process. Look at the semi-final. He missed a 9-ball to make it 4-4 against Mark Gray. Would have been 5-3. But what did he do? He did not dwell. He won the last 4 racks. That's why he's here. The 6-ball miss in the previous rack now well and truly forgotten. Here's that green goblin. They went astray last time.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say anything. You know, he's got to get one on the board. That's the first order of business. Get rid of the goose egg.
The goose egg is about to be cracked. Cheers of support all around this Victoria Warehouse Arena. Darren Appleton still trails, but he's made his mark. It's Van Boening 3, Appleton 1. The venue is Manchester. The occasion, the final of the World Pool Masters. It's Darren Appleton against Shane Van Boening. Appleton has just won his first rack, but still trails by 2. On then to the 5th.
Darren's dad must be feeling a little bit better.
Rack
Got
5.
one on the board. Now
Appleton to break, trailing 1 rack to 3.
Darren was breaking well at the end of his match with Mark Gray, just like there. 1 ball down, but it looks like the 2 ball is hiding behind the 7.
Push out call.
With a little hesitation, push out called. Of course it was going to be called. Just a matter of now who wins this battle of wits, because ultimately that's what push outs are. Well, can Van Boening come off the top cushion, make contact with the 2 and leave the white in behind the 7? Is that viable?
That's what he's looking at. And Shane's got this extension on his cue stick that he plays with all the time now. It's not just something he puts on for 1 or 2 shots. And that allowed him there to extend over the table instead of using the rest.
Well, the 2 has a clear path to the bottom left-hand pocket.
How's that for precision?
I think from where he was, Van Boening should be disappointed with the effort of trying to get the snooker in behind the 7. He should have done a better job than that.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to leave. I know it was a long shot, but you don't want to leave it open to any pocket, no matter how far away. Not with an opponent the skill level of Darren Appleton. Now he'll put an extension on his cue.
Would anyone raise an eyebrow if this match went close? Of course they wouldn't.
I think most people are expecting that this thing is going to go down to the wire. This is going to be like a classic old heavyweight title fight.
It's not the thriller in Manila. It's more like the matchup in Manchester. But who will win? Hard to say. Fresh life for Appleton. 2 on the board. Van Boning's lead reduced to 1.
That shot right there, excellent cueing, perfect speed to drop into the pocket, and then it was off to the races for the Englishman, Darren Appleton. Right back in the match. You had little doubt that he would claw his way back. He's as gritty as they come. And Shane, you can see the atmosphere here at Victoria Warehouse. Terrific sight for this final here at the Whirlpool Masters. Oh, this time the 1 doesn't go, but he's got the 2 ball down, and I believe he has a shot on the 1.
Oh yes, the 1 passes the orange 5. No doubt about that, and the 3's in the open. Promising this.
Well, one storyline so far, as good as Shane was on the break shot in that semifinal, he has apparently lost whatever magic he had on the break. Oh, you've got to make those, Darren. Darren seems to have found something on the break shot.
It wasn't smooth cueing. He missed a very easy 6 ball into that pocket in the 3rd rack. That not such a grievous error, and the way the balls have come to rest, he's largely got away with it.
Wow.
No shot.
Wow, it looks like he went for the pot on the 1. And if he missed it, he was hoping that the cue would come all the way back down and get safe behind that wall of balls right there. But he missed it entirely, and that's ball in hand. Wow, risky shot.
Had Van Boening wanted to make contact with the 1, he could have done so pretty much blindfolded. But he wanted to make contact in such a way, as Ted said, to pot it. That brought risk into the equation. And now, with ball in hand, happy days for Appleton.
Definitely advantage Appleton at this point. The break shot seems to have deserted Shane so far in this final, whereas Darren has found his sweet spot. He's always making a ball in the break, and he's getting a shot. So it's a good opportunity to tie it up. Oh, that is massive disappointment.
The third open ball he's missed, and 2 of them have been from relatively short range.
Boy, and to do that after getting ball in hand, and you can see how upset he is with that effort. Let's not discount the fact that there are going to be plenty of nerves. This is one of the most prestigious titles in the sport. A lot of money riding on the line. Make no mistake, Phil, this is a huge rivalry these two have going.
Yes, it's a rivalry constructed on mutual respect, but a rivalry nevertheless. When you've gone head-to-head in that Mosconi Cup cauldron, rivalries are bound to exist, let alone as individuals playing for substantial prize money. Barring the most extraordinary miss, he's going to be 2 ahead. Safe and sound. Shane Van Boening 4, Darren Appleton 2. Appleton is making far too many uncharacteristic errors.
That's right. Darren Appleton knows he deserves to be behind at this point with 3 glaring errors so far in just 6 racks played. There's no way that you would expect to be leading or even tied, and that was the error right there. Wow. He is angry, and deservedly so.
All of the contests in this Party Poker Whirlpool Masters are played over the same distance from first round right through until the final. It's best of 15, a race to 8, and consequently Van Boening is halfway to the title, to retaining the title.
And yet he hasn't broken well at all in this match so far. He does recapture some of that magic from the semifinal, in which he had 7 break and runouts. It's going to be dark days for Darren. Well, this could be the one. And the 9 goes in. It was going to be an open table. But he makes the 9 on the break, and suddenly it's 5-2 in favor of Shane Van Boening.
The final of the World Pool Masters is pressure-packed. Shane Van Boening against Darren Appleton. So far, the American's been superior, helped in no small measure by the efficiency of his break, and in particular, a golden break, which transported the scoreline to 5-2. Now coming your way, rack 8.
That break was the replica of what Shane was doing in the semifinal. That was the best break he had. He was going to have an open shot, except they didn't need to play the rack because the 9 went in. 5-2 in favor of Shane. 3 away from the title. Let's not forget last year he did a similar thing to Nick Economopoulos. Shane did in the final, which was 8-2. It was about this point in the match he ran away with it. There it is. A ball in the corner. The 1 ball coming down to the end of the table. And a shot on that one. An open shot.
Just back referencing to the golden break, Ted. Not the first time he's enjoyed one of those. At a very opportune moment in a big match against English opposition in the World Pool Masters on the way to the title last year in the semi-finals. He defeated Chris Melling, and he had a golden break in that match. They're very handy.
Yeah, it can be demoralizing for your opponent as well, especially on the back of the 3 big mistakes that Darren made as he was clawing his way back into the match. And it just appeared that Darren had the momentum, and just like that, Shane has taken it back, and he's going to be hard to stop now, Phil.
You better believe it. Is it going to be for the second time in 3 years? Appleton tasting defeat in the final of the World Masters. Of course, he was beaten by Niels Fine in the title match in 2013.
We're looking at a 6-9 combination. And he's pretty much a lock to get this.
Extension call.
How handy is that extension on his cue to reach this far?
(6-9) and for Shane Van Boening, all is fine. The reason, he's now got a 4-rack cushion, 6-2 ahead and breaking in the 9th. Has he broken Darren Appleton?
Well, it's very possible that he has. And it's because of break-offs just like this. We always talk about that break shot being the most important shot in the game. Throughout this World Pool Masters, we've seen nothing but headaches and heartaches on that break shot. And it's been Shane Van Boening who's the one who's had the most success, especially late in the tournament. But what's got to be painful for Darren Appleton is that really it's not so much that Shane has played well, because right at the point when Shane was not playing so well early in this match, Darren had a chance to take control,
Rack 9.
And he blew it.
Shane Van Boening to break, leading 6 racks to 2.
Another 9 ball. That one has to sting for Darren Appleton. And boy, that has to feel amazing for Shane Van Boening. 7-2 over the Englishman.
Meatloaf famously sang 2 out of 3 ain't bad. When it comes to golden breaks, 2 out of 3 is Christmas. And what a way to reach the hill. The crowd knew it when the ball was 2-3 feet away. Come on, he says. Yes, it's there.
You know, and what Shane has to be feeling really good about is that thinking that fortune is on his side tonight, is that in that rack, that was going to be a dry rack. Nothing had gone down. The only ball down was the 9 right at the end there.
Rack 10, Shane Van Boening to break, leading 7 racks to 2.
One more to become the first player to ever repeat the World Pool Masters.
What a break if the 2 goes past the 6. Oh, it doesn't. Tantalising. Tantalising. Had there been a gap there, I think it might have been curtains. Well, he tried to get the 9 ball in motion.
Wow. Oh. This is just amazing. I mean, he pots the 6, and this is it.
Can you believe the conclusion to this final? Just extraordinary. Golden breaks all over the place. Guaranteed caroms. Unbelievable. Everything's fallen into place for Shane Van Boening, and he's only the 4th player in the history of this tournament to win this title on more than one occasion. But he's the first to successfully defend. Congratulations to SVB.
Quite a statement from Shane Van Boening. And you're right, Phil. It just seemed like everything was going his way. He just took a big swing at that 2-6 combination. He tried to get the 9 ball going. The 6 went in amazingly, and here you see it. The 6 goes in, and look how he ends up with the 2-9 right together, and all he's got to do is hit the 2 and carry him into the 6 and into the 9, and it's over.
For someone of his class, that's like writing out a blank check. And the check in question here is for $20,000 US, his native currency. It's going back stateside. He must look back on the positives, though. It's been a really good tournament for Darren Appleton. Came up short, but boy, he was beaten by a player in inspired form who had also luck on his side, and that combination is lethal.
And let's hear it for this year's runner-up, Dynamite, Darren Appleton. And ladies and gentlemen, this year's Matchroom Sport Party Poker World Pool Masters champion for the 2nd year in a row is the South Dakota Kid. Let's hear it for Shane Van Boening.
You know, you got all the best pool players in the world, top 16 best pool players from all over the world. So, I mean, especially playing against Darren Appleton, he's one of the best pool players. so felt awesome. Hard work really paid off, so it's just amazing.
Not for the first time, Shane Van Boening is one of pool's history now. When he returns next year, the aim will be simple: complete a three-peat at the Party Poker World Pool Masters. That's Shane Van Boening, champion again.